Hey guys, Miss Glass back again. Today we're learning about editing simple sentences. How can we use our knowledge of simple sentences to make us better writers? So we've talked about the formulas for simple sentences. We have SV, SSV, SVV, and SSVV. And today we're going to look at how we can use our knowledge of these simple sentence formulas to make us better writers and improve our written communication skills. So let's look at a first example. This is a sentence that is really similar to a lot of the sentences I see in my 10th graders when they write. So it's a great example sentence. I want you to use your knowledge of subjects and verbs to identify what is wrong with the sentence below. So I'm going to read the sentence. I was at a park. It was beautiful and sunny like always. I was playing soccer. It's a mouthful. Okay, so we're going to identify our prepositional phrases, infinitives, subjects, and verbs just like we've been doing. So we have a prepositional phrase here, at a park. It was beautiful and sunny like always. I was playing soccer. I don't see any other prepositional phrases. Do you see any infinitives? No infinitives. So let's start looking for verbs. Was, I was, don't forget that that is a verb just like is. I was at a park. Here it is again. Was beautiful and sunny like always. I was, but here it's part of a verb phrase, was playing soccer. Now let's look for the subjects. So this verb, I was at a park. It was beautiful and sunny like always. I was playing soccer. So now we see that the formula is SV, SV, SV. And we know that that is not the same as SSVV or when there's a group of subjects together and a group of verbs together. Here you can see we have these separate subject-verb pairs. So how many separate single sentences should there be? Well, we're going to split this up based on our knowledge of simple sentences. So we know that SV is a formula. So this sentence, including the prepositional phrase, is one independent clause. Formula is SV. It was beautiful and sunny like always is another independent clause, SV. I was playing soccer is another independent clause, SV. So how many separate single sentences should there be? The answer is 3. Okay. So let's keep in mind our steps for editing sentences. We're going to identify the subjects and verbs, use formulas to identify simple sentences, and we're going to add punctuation and capitalization as needed. All right, let's look at another example. The teacher was writing on the board. You could hear the chalk on the blackboard, and the students had their heads down and were drooling. Again, this sentence is very similar to the writing that I see in my 10th graders' work. So we're going to identify our subjects and verbs. The teacher was writing. Right away, we have an action, was writing. Who was writing? The teacher. On the board, that's a prepositional phrase. You could hear, we have another action, verb, hear, could hear. Who could hear? You could hear the chalk on the blackboard. That's another prepositional phrase. And the students had their heads down and were drooling. Had and were drooling are the verbs there. Who had their heads down and were drooling? The students. You'll notice here that we have that word and in between, right? So SV and V is a formula. Okay, that's SVV. That's how we get the two verbs connected by and. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to copy and paste the sentence into our box. And we're going to make some corrections. So how many simple sentences should we have? Well, we have SV, SV, SVV. So it looks like we have 3 subject verb pairs. The teacher was writing on the board. This should be a period. And then we're going to capitalize the next word at the beginning of the next sentence. You could hear the chalk on the blackboard. Again, that should be its own simple sentence. And we're going to take out the word and. You never want to start a sentence with and, so we're going to take it away. And we're going to capitalize the students had their heads down and were drawing. And now we have 3 correctly written simple sentences instead of 1 long run-on sentence. Okay, quick vocabulary review. Simple sentences, again, are 1 independent clause. Subject, verbs, independent clauses. These are all words that you should be really comfortable with by now. Verb phrases, infinitives, prepositions, prepositional phrases, words that indicate location, and the phrase that begins with the preposition, and then, of course, commas. Okay, now that you've learned how to edit simple sentences, you're actually going to go into MyMCPS. And the easiest way to do this is to just copy and paste the sentences into your box and then make the changes. You don't necessarily need to type out everything yourself, but you can make the changes in these sentences. I did put the steps for editing sentences at the top, but you can always use this video as a reference as well. And I will see you guys back for writing simple sentences.